Welcome to the Voice of Experience series, where riders share their thoughts and memories from their Renedian motorcycle adventure. Betty Ann Alexander began riding as a passenger when she met her husband, Greg Alexander, in the 70s. When their daughter was 14, mother and daughter took their training and got their motorcycle licenses.
I'm quite short, 5 feet tall.
Traveling to Africa intrigued them, but they weren't ready to go when they met Renee in 2011. Now Betty Ann is in her early 60s and Greg's going to be 65. They decided they had to go now, not later. Betty Ann and Greg, along with 2 other couples, have traveled to the Yukon, Alaska, and the Arctic Circle, 3 trips in 4 years. They've also traveled extensively throughout Western Canada and the United States. Next summer, they plan to reach the Arctic Ocean. Betty Ann has her license and her own bike, but says she would not have been capable of doing the ride from Victoria Falls to Cape Town. Even on long rides in North America, she's happy to let Greg do the riding while she takes pictures.
My personal bike is a Goldwing with a sidecar, but I can still keep up with everyone. For big trips, we've taken that bike so either one of us can ride while the other sits in the sidecar. I still have my Honda 230L, but I haven't done much riding since my knee replacement a year ago.
Although the African landscape is different than any she'd been on, areas were reminiscent of faraway locales.
You'd be riding along thinking you're in Arizona, or in other places, I could have been in southern British Columbia. It was all very beautiful.
Each country had its own highlights and personality.
Zimbabwe, for us, was all about Victoria Falls. They were amazing, and we were seeing them in the dry season. Botswana was about animals and the experiences of being on the Chobe River and the Okavango Delta. Deserts, dunes, ghost towns, and diamond mines were characterized in Namibia. I had no idea that South Africa had such amazing mountain ranges with such aggressive passes. We saw everything from deserts to orange groves, vineyards to canola fields, and cattle grazing like you'd see in Alberta. Then all of a sudden we'd cross a mountain pass and we were at the coast. The diversity really surprised me. Namibia and Botswana had lots of grazing animals, and it's not uncommon to come across cattle or goats on the middle of the road. In South Africa, the cattle graze more like Alberta in traditional fenced-in farms.
Betty Ann was glad she'd chosen to be a passenger on this trip, occasionally even enjoying the air conditioning in the van.
Greg really rides differently when I'm not there as a passenger. He can have more fun, especially on the challenging gravel. I know he didn't need to second guess his moves, and it didn't detract from the experience of being in Africa. I was very apprehensive about going to Africa. I'm not sure if it was the travel, the unknown, or just being in an area of the world that I've never been in. It was a wonderful trip, and it exceeded all my expectations.